Welcome to Empires in English. Let's unlock your future. Start thinking and living in English. Subscribe and let's begin.
Think back to the last time you had a golden opportunity to speak English. Maybe you were in a team meeting at work, or an interview, or at a social event where someone asked a question in English. You had an opinion. You knew the answer. You knew exactly what you wanted to say. But what did you actually do? Your heart started beating faster. Your palms felt sweaty. Your throat tightened up. A loud, critical voice inside your head started whispering. What if I use the wrong preposition? What if my accent sounds strange? What if people laugh at me? What if I look stupid? And so, instead of opening your mouth and sharing your thoughts, you stayed completely silent. You smiled, you nodded politely, and you let someone else speak. And the moment the conversation ended, you felt that horrible, heavy feeling of frustration and regret. If you have experienced this, I want you to take a deep breath, because you are not alone. Speaking anxiety is the single most universal obstacle faced by English learners across the planet. You can memorize 10,000 words, you can pass advanced written grammar exams, and you can understand Hollywood movies without subtitles. But if you are terrified of making mistakes when you open your mouth, all that passive knowledge remains locked inside your head. Today, we are going to break that lock. We are going to dismantle the psychological fear of making mistakes once and for all. We will explore why your brain creates this intense fear, why mistakes are linguistically essential for fluency, and how you can reprogram your mindset using 4 practical confidence exercises that you can practice starting today. Grab a notebook, settle into a comfortable seat, and let's conquer speaking anxiety together. Let's begin by understanding why speaking anxiety happens in the first place. When you speak a foreign language in front of other human beings, your brain does not perceive it as a simple intellectual exercise. Your brain's evolutionary defense mechanism, the amygdala, perceives it as a threat to your social status. Humans are social creatures. For thousands of years, being rejected or judged by your tribe was dangerous. So when you are about to speak English, your brain triggers a physical fight-or-flight response. Your heart rate increases, your adrenaline spikes, and your working memory shuts down. That is why your mind suddenly goes blank. It isn't because you forgot the English words. It is because your brain is redirecting all its energy toward protecting you from perceived embarrassment. To overcome this, you must realize a fundamental truth about human communication. People are not analyzing your grammar. People are listening to your message. Think about it carefully. When a foreigner visits your country and tries to speak your native language with a heavy accent and broken grammar, what do you think? Do you laugh at them? Do you judge their intelligence? Do you count their grammar mistakes? Of course you don't. You appreciate that they are trying. You listen carefully to understand their meaning, and you feel respect for their effort. So why do you believe that native English speakers are judging you with harsh cruelty when you speak English? They are not. In the real world, 99% of people simply want to connect with you. They want to know what you think, what you feel, and how you can work together. If you say, "She go to office yesterday," instead of, "She went to the office yesterday," the listener still understands 100% of your meaning. The communication was successful. Fluency is not perfection. Fluency is connection. Now, let's explore the 4 mindset shifts that will destroy your fear of making mistakes. Mindset shift number 1. Mistakes are not failures, mistakes are data. In traditional schooling, mistakes are punished with red ink. If you make 5 mistakes on an exam, your score drops from 100 to 80. You are trained to believe that mistakes equal failure. In language acquisition, the opposite is true. Mistakes are the only mechanism through which your brain updates its language neural networks. Linguists call this the interlanguage hypothesis. When you learn a language, your brain creates an internal model of how that language works. Every time you make a mistake and notice it, or receive gentle feedback, your brain adjusts that model and makes it sharper. If you never make mistakes, it means you are only saying safe, simple things that you already know. You are not expanding your capacity. Every mistake you make in a real conversation is a valuable piece of data. Treat mistakes like scientific experiments, not personal defects. Mindset shift number 2. Lower the performance stakes. Many intermediate learners treat every single conversation like a high-stakes Broadway theater performance where thousands of people are judging their delivery. Lower the stakes. A conversation at a coffee shop is not an international diplomatic summit. A 5-minute team update is not a presidential address. Give yourself permission to produce a rough draft. When an author writes a masterpiece book, the first draft is messy, unpolished, and full of errors. They don't panic because they know the rough draft is just the starting point. When you speak English, allow your speech to be a rough draft. Accept that it will be slightly messy, accept that your prepositions won't always be perfect, and focus entirely on getting your ideas out into the world. Mindset shift number 3. The spotlight effect is an illusion. Psychologists have documented a cognitive bias called the spotlight effect. It is the tendency for people to believe that everyone around them is paying much more attention to their appearance, mistakes, and behavior than they actually are. When you make a small grammar mistake in a meeting, you might think about it for 3 days. You replay it in your mind before going to sleep. I can't believe I said that. Here is the liberating reality. Nobody else remembered it 5 seconds after you said it. Other people are too busy worrying about their own lives, their own insecurities, and their own performance to spend their energy dissecting your past tense verbs. The spotlight is only in your imagination. Mindset shift number 4. Confidence comes after action, not before. Most students say, "I will start speaking when I feel confident." This is a complete misunderstanding of human psychology. You cannot wait for confidence to magically appear while sitting silently in your room. Confidence is the result of action, not the prerequisite. You must speak while you are nervous. You must speak while your hands are shaking. You must speak while making clumsy mistakes. Every time you speak despite feeling afraid, you prove to your subconscious mind that you survived. You didn't die. Nobody attacked you. The world kept spinning. And after doing that 10, 20, or 50 times, genuine confidence naturally replaces fear. Now that we have reshaped your mental foundation, let's look at 4 practical spoken exercises to build unshakable conversational resilience. Exercise number 1. The 5-minute intentional mistake drill. This is a radical exercise designed to desensitize your brain to the feeling of making errors. Set a timer on your phone for 3 minutes. Speak out loud on any topic, your day, a movie, or your plans, and intentionally speak as fast as you can without caring about grammar at all. Throw verb tenses out the window. Mix up your pronouns. If you can't remember a word, describe it clumsily and keep going. The sole objective of this drill is to maintain continuous vocal output without stopping to edit yourself. By doing this, you break the unconscious habit of hesitating, and you train your brain to prioritize momentum over perfection. Exercise number 2. The rescue phrases framework. What should you do when you are in a real conversation and you genuinely get stuck, forget a word, or lose your train of thought? Instead of panicking and freezing, use these 4 pre-memorized rescue phrases to regain control smoothly. Rescue phrase 1. Let me rephrase that. Use this when you start a sentence awkwardly and want to reset without looking flustered. For example, the results were not very, let me rephrase that, we didn't achieve the numbers we anticipated. Rescue phrase 2. What's the word I'm looking for? Use this while snapping your fingers gently when searching for a specific term. For example, we need to focus on, what's the word I'm looking for, sustainability. Rescue phrase 3. My mind just went blank for a second. Saying this with a warm smile immediately turns an awkward pause into a relatable human moment that puts everyone at ease. Rescue phrase 4. To put it simply. Use this when your explanation became too complex and you want to summarize cleanly. For example, there were multiple logistical factors involved, but to put it simply, the shipment will arrive tomorrow. Notice how these phrases make you look in control, professional, and composed, even when you encounter a temporary linguistic block. Exercise number 3. Low-pressure micro-conversations. Do not try to conquer your fear by jumping directly into an hour-long presentation in front of 100 executives. Build your confidence in low-stakes environments first. Say, "Good morning, how are you doing today?" to a cashier or barista. Leave a short, 2-sentence voice note to a friend or language partner instead of typing a text. Ask a simple question in an online English forum or community. These micro-interactions take 10 seconds, carry zero risk, and steadily train your nervous system to stay calm while speaking English. Exercise number 4. The Evidence Journal. Keep a small notebook or a notes file on your phone titled, My Spoken Wins. Every time you speak English successfully, whether it was ordering food, answering a question in a meeting, or practicing out loud alone for 10 minutes, write it down with the date. When self-doubt creeps in, open that notebook. Look at the tangible evidence of your progress. Remind yourself how far you have come compared to where you started. Let's do a complete review of everything we covered today so you can carry this mindset forward. Remember, communication is about connection, not perfection. People care about your message, not your grammar rules. Mistakes are essential data points that help your brain recalibrate and grow. The spotlight effect is an illusion. Nobody is judging you as harshly as you judge yourself. Confidence is built by taking action while feeling afraid, not by waiting for fear to disappear. Use rescue phrases like, let me rephrase that, and, to put it simply, to handle memory blocks with elegance and calm. And practice low-pressure micro-conversations daily to build consistent speaking momentum. The next time you have an opportunity to speak, do not let that critical voice silence you. Take a breath. Embrace the possibility of making a mistake, open your mouth, and speak. Your ideas matter. Your voice deserves to be heard. If this message resonated with you today, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more real-world communication strategies, and leave a comment below. What is one fear or hesitation you are deciding to let go of today? Thank you for watching. Speak with courage, embrace the messy process, and I will see you in the next video.